and welcome to Emerge, the radio show. I'm Dorothea Schuler, and we're so glad you're joining us. On this week's show, we'll be speaking with Troy Ketchmore of Ketchmore Kids and also Devon Kelly of Not My Child. Both are nonprofit organizations that focus on violence prevention and solutions in the city of Newport News. Of course, a little later, we'll be making a divine decision with me, Dorothea. Then we'll let Deshana drop some jewels on us as she gives her 2 cents on finance. But first up, like we always do around this time, we get to hear some amazing tips from Tiffany to help you emerge as a CEO. So come on, let's go and tiptoe over with Tiffany into the CEO's Corner.
Emerge yourself. Welcome to the CEO Corner, and it is Black History Month, everybody. How excited are we? I love the months that celebrate the different ethnic groups that make up the United States. We are a melting pot. I think we need to remind ourselves of this and embrace it. The importance of Black History Month is to remember important people and events in the history of the African diaspora. There are several ways that we as CEOs can celebrate this month in the workplace. But I'm only going to give you 4. So if you have ideas, send it to me via our website, emergethemagazine.com, and I can also share those throughout the month of February. 4 ways to celebrate Black History Month in the workplace. 1, bring in speakers and create a space for people to listen and share. 2, spotlight employee stories. 3, ask team members to take the lead. 4, volunteer your time and your money. And did I say that there were 4 tips? There are really 5, because this is super important. Remember, and this should not only be during Black History Month, remember to support diversity in the workplace 365 days a year. So let's celebrate together. And I'm Tiffany Boyle, and that's my tip from the CEO Corner. Emerge yourself.
All right. So if you are just tuning in, you are listening to the Emerge Radio Show. I am host Deshana Garnett, along with host Dorothea Schuler. And today we have a treat because we are here with Troy Ketchmore of Ketchmore Kids. So how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you? Born and raised Newport News. Left here as a baby, moved to Philadelphia, left there, went to Atlanta, been back and forth here. Grew up downtown Newport News, rough neighborhood, single mother. Out there bonding with other kids, similar situations, and found myself in a few situations that I didn't like, So fast forward, 1995, a friend of mine got killed. I took him to the hospital, accidental killing, but I ended up being wrongfully convicted and doing 26 years, 8 months in prison. I came home August 16th, 2021. As a provision of being wrongfully sentenced as well. And the governor created a new law to put us under parole. They gave me first parole. So I'm still fighting for my exoneration now. And I'm the programs manager for Ketchmore Kids. So ever since I've been home for 17 months, I've been out here on the ground trying to resurrect our young men, trying to keep them from taking my cell. So it's been a grind. It's the work, but I love it.
Well, talk to us about Ketchmore Kids and explain to us about what that is.
Well, Ketchmore Kids is a nonprofit organization created by my sister, Chanel Ketchmore, who's the director. She created it as a dedication to me when I got locked up. And our motto is to catch more kids in the streets, catch more kids in the prisons, catch more kids in the gangs, the drugs. Like so, we was over the years, we started in 2005. So we've been networking over the years, me in prison, her out here. So I've been doing work in the prison. She was doing work out here. And many of those years, we was not funded or nothing. So it's just a passion that we have to try to keep somebody from going down the road I went down, trying to share my knowledge, my experience on the road that I traveled to try to better somebody else's life, because these young kids need hands-on supervision, and who better to show them the road than somebody like myself that been down that road.
I think y'all have the perfect last name for it, Ketchmore.
Yes.
That is amazing, because if that was my last name, I would be trademarking. It would have been a Ketchmore everything. You hear me?
I love it. And it's awesome. It's the family name, and both of you came together to so into it. I think that's awesome.
Yes. Ketchmore Kids, my company, brand Ketchmore LLC. we're getting ready to start brand Ketchmore Transportation soon. So
okay, so Deshana was on the right track.
Yes, definitely. I mean, your brand is everything. So
I love it. I noticed, Troy, that you said, you were sentenced wrongfully and you decided to come out and keep kids from traveling down a path, or you said taking your cell. I think that's awesome because, your passion is a little bit different, where someone is like, I did this time and I was able to learn from the error of my ways until I came out. You did that time and you didn't allow that to harden you, but you still allowed it to create a passion to keep someone from going down the road or just even ending up in a similar situation as you. I think that's awesome, especially the situation behind it. Your friend, that's a hard pill to swallow. So that takes a lot of character for that to even begin being a desire of your heart. So just wanted to give you your flowers, your man flowers. Let's say that.
I always said I never wanted to use prison as an excuse not to become a man. So, I went in there and reevaluated my whole life. And, I saw a lot of prison give you every opportunity to be more what you want to be or more what you don't want to be. And I saw examples in there that I would say, nah, I would never. I just put myself around people that was headed in the direction that I wanted to go, and I walked into it. I wasn't perfect, but every day I got better. Went to school, went to business college. I needed some education, so I just tried to step it up. I pushed myself, I challenged myself. DOC didn't do this. I made a decision as a man to do this. So, I just didn't want that to be an excuse for me not to become. And I believed that I would get out, so I ain't count myself out.
Awesome. So talk to us about some of the programs, or what exactly is Ketchmore Kids all about? What do y'all do with the kids in the community?
I'm the programs manager. I facilitate a program called the Think Tank that I created when I was in prison. Myself and a brother named Marvin Monday co-created this program, and we used to do it in the facilities. In the reentry, the institution loved it. And we deal with our thinking, because if you focus on changing the world and not the mind, then that same old mind is going to reproduce the same world. I don't care where you put it. So we had to start focusing on changing our consciousness, because right now our youth are representing a consciousness that's not theirs. That's why when you turn on the news, you see blacks killing blacks, because you represent a consciousness that used to kill us like that. So we had to change our thinking. I work on how I thought, how I think, how I should be thinking. We deal with certain impediments to our growth and development, such as fear, peer pressure, attitude, thought, and we try to show them how to manage thought, discipline your mind and gain control of your thoughts by little tactics and exercises that we use. We also do triple P parenting, where my mom and my sister's triple P certified, and they help the parents, with parenting classes and things of that nature. And we have a program called Healing with Hip Hop that we bond and get with the youth where they at and help them cope with losses and grieving loved ones as well.
I got to attend a pop-up. That is part of the think tank, or what part of the program is that? That was awesome. I attended a pop-up.
Yeah, that's a part of the think tank. That's our method of, everybody's not going to come to a classroom and sit in there for 2 hours. A lot of people don't have transportation, babysitters, whatever. But what we do, we come out to the projects. We come in the hood. We want them to see that we'll come where you at as well. We bring it to you, and then in the classrooms, we do more intense building and teaching. But we go into communities because we have to go into communities and engage our young people. That's where they at all day, every day. So I'm around the pill poppers and the gun toters.
Yeah, and there was a sign, and it was called Safe Zone No.
Yeah, ceasefire, safe zone. When they see these signs, so far, it's been respected.
That's awesome.
That is amazing. I mean, you touched on so many things, but one of the main things I picked up is it's different with, in my opinion, of course, this generation. I know I could think of stories with, some of my uncles and my aunties, when they were growing up and certain things would happen. It's kind of like toughen up. It's a cold world out there. You got to learn how to stand on your own too and be strong pretty much. But now I feel like it's a shift, right? Where kids, they're taught how to cope with their emotions because they need it. I think, in the news over the last week or two, we see what happens when kids aren't given proper tools, to cope with their emotions and how they're feeling. I'm hoping, it'll get better. I think programs like yours could only help that type of, situation and the things we're facing in the world right now. It's much needed.
Yeah, I mean, and the reality is, it's not not an exact science. Like, we have billions of people on the planet. So to believe that we're not going to bump into each other every once in a while is a pipe dream. From the time you're born, death is activated. Then we also know that death is a given too. Now, all the little space in between is what we working on. You know, we fight to save who we can save. And I try to be a living example. I try to lead by example with the way I carry myself, the way I go through my day. A lot of people know what I've been through. I don't use it as an excuse not to become. And I'm trying to let our young people know you have to be the one to take control of your life and be responsible for where you go. You know, you have to want it. It's not a spectator sport. You have to get involved with your growth and development. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And I encourage everybody with other programs to keep doing what they're doing. And together we can make a difference.
Awesome. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to the Emerge Radio Show. I am your host, Shayna Kemp Garnett, along with co-host Ms. Dorothea Schuler. And we are just here being enlightened by none other than Troy Ketchmore of Ketchmore Kids. So, Troy, you did say that Ketchmore Kids is a nonprofit, correct?
Yes.
So talk to us about what resources and what help do you need from the community to make sure that you can keep going out and doing what you're doing to serve the community?
Well, I've partnered up with the city of Newport News, the city of Hampton. Centera Hospital is one of our sponsors, and DCJS. You know, I need the community to actually come out. You know, we have to come out and get involved. It's not a spectator sport.
Right.
Get involved. You know, that's the only way anything is going to change. People have to get involved, literally. You know, so that's what I stress to them, and I stress to, you know, the cities that we're partnering with to keep funding us, you know, to increase the funding so that I can employ the people that I need to help me do what I do, because I have the people to help me do what I do. I just don't have the funding so that they can focus on this task like I'm doing.
That's interesting. When you mentioned that you need the people to support, you have the funding. I was going to ask about that when you said you partner with Newport News. I know that the think tank will be going to the juvenile center. How does that work when you guys are going to the juvenile centers? And are those the places that you're saying you'd love to have that support and eventually be able to have those people on staff to attend workshops such as that, or just in general?
Just in general. Mainly when we go in these neighborhoods, like, I need to be able to bring this. This is a hazardous job, you know. Everybody is not on board with growth and development or changing the narrative or saving. Some people are comfortable where they at. You know, some dudes, you just gonna be like, I hear some dudes, I'm a real whatever. That's, some of us are comfortable with that, and we gonna ride or die for that, you know. But me being able to have more of my guys that have influence in these neighborhoods and still in the street, you know, then that helps us out because it's strength in numbers. And when we go in the juvenile center, you know, these young men, they bring 10, 12, you know, we can handle that, and we build and try to mentor them because a lot of them are coming back out. So right. We wanted them, and they're in a place where they're going to listen to anything I got to say right now. You know, they facing, once you get a case, you want to hear from everybody. You look for, you know, so it's inside and it's outside. I don't want to burn out or wear down, so I need all the help I can get.
X.
All right. So is there a place, or do y'all have a website or social media so people can get in touch with you if you have more questions, or they can learn about different initiatives and events that y'all have coming up?
Well, you can follow us at catchmorekids.org, or you can hit me up on any of my platforms, which is Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at I Am Troy Ketchmore. And right. You can YouTube and check out my podcast, Living Life After Life podcast on YouTube.
Okay. I was going to say that, right? You do have a podcast, don't you?
Yeah. Me and myself and my partner, Banky Pound, who did 30 plus years.
Wow. So Living Life After podcast?
Okay, just push in Living Life After Life podcast. It'll pop up on YouTube. We actually, the mayor, Philip Jones. That video is up there.
Yes, I'm going to have to check that out. I remember getting to see a clip of it when you guys were advertising early on, but the show wasn't loaded up yet. So yeah, I can't wait to go back and see it. And just to support you guys, I bet y'all have amazing guests and, you know, great information that people can relate from to parents, people in the same situations, people in the community who need to understand and have a better outlook and more of a welcoming attitude for returning citizens. So I think that that's amazing that you have that platform as well.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is how we're going to change the narrative. We're going to get out here and show them, you know? I
just want to say that it is very easy to find Troy on Instagram. I have found him at I Am Troy Ketchmore. And I want to put out here that I would love a t-shirt, that says Ketchmore Kids on it. Look, I'm rolling the Instagram. I want a T-shirt. So let me know how I can get a shirt.
I got you.
All right.
I got you.
All right. So do you have any upcoming events, the next couple weeks, the next couple months that we can be on the lookout for?
Well, we go to Juvenile Newport News Detention Center Sunday from 1 to 3. Mayor Philip Jones will be coming in there as well with us. We're trying to schedule some dates for the think tank pop-ups coming soon. So we will have a whole bunch of dates we'll be posting soon.
Awesome. And that will be on Instagram or your social media. I am Troy Ketchmore.
Yes. Or Facebook or Instagram. Yes.
Awesome. Well, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you. And before we let you go, we have one more question to ask, and that is our signature question. What does the word emerge mean to you?
Well, emerge means to shine, to grow, to blow, you know, bigger than life. That's what it means to me.
I can tell you like the word, because if you could see the smile you have on your face when you gave us your definition, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, that's what it means to me. You know?
To blow. I love that.
All about the next level, you know? So, like, I could do good in my sleep. I'm chasing greatness right now.
Okay. Again, thank you so much for being a guest on today's show, and thank you for everything you're doing to help save the youth in the community. We certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
For having me.
All right. Thanks, Troy.
When I was a gang leader, we probably did business together, because when people like you buy knockoffs on the street, often the money goes to gangs, and gangs use this easy money for other activities. In other words, they're getting a lot of bang for their buck.
Counterfeits hurt, but you have the power to stop them. Go to www.ncpc.org/getreal. A message from the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance, U.S. Department of Justice.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section and after Dad's back injury. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Trouble with opioids can start at home with unused medicines such as pills, patches, and syrups. You can remove the risk and protect your family. Find out how at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Over the past few years, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected how we live our daily lives. Today, we also face a mental health pandemic that threatens our well-being as we attempt to rebuild our social networks and communities.
The pandemic has reminded us to value family, community, and our human connections. However, it has also left many of us feeling more isolated, confused, and alone, struggling to find meaning amid loss and uncertainty.
Today, 1 in 5 Americans experience emotional and mental health challenges, but many of us do not understand what we are facing or know how to ask for help.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we understand what you are going through, and we are here to help. Our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all. We work every day to eliminate stigma, combat mental illness and substance use disorders, and advance mental health. If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It's me, your heart. High blood pressure is serious, and if you think I'm just gonna keep ticking away, you're wrong. I can quit whenever I want, but I like my job. Just treat me better. Maybe we can do some exercise on occasion? After all, we're in this together.
Don't let your heart quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Emerge Radio Show on WHOV FM.
Welcome back. I'm Dorothea Schuler, and you're listening to the Emerge Radio Show, the show that's all about entrepreneurs and business and is the premier information source for business owners. If you're just now joining us, Deshana and I just spoke with Mr. Troy Ketchmore of Ketchmore Kids, and the name says it all. They provide interactive violence intervention services and solutions to communities suffering from disparities directly caused by violence. They provide vital support and resources through targeted and intensive community engagement programs. Thus, the name Catch More Kids. So, if you missed his interview, you definitely want to catch up on all you've missed, and you can listen to any of our previous shows by visiting emergethemagazine.com. All right, friends, let's get to it. Our lives are based upon a series of decisions. A decision is a conclusion or resolution reached after consideration. And divine means excellent, so we're making an excellent choice. With that being said, let's make the divine decision today to possess accountability. Now, when I say we are making a divine decision together, trust me, it applies to me first because I'm learning as well. In other words, I'm definitely looking forward to possessing more accountability in my life in order to progress and emerge toward the place that I desire to be. The definition for accountability is the fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility. We've all been responsible for something or someone in some capacity at some point in our lives. I want you to reflect on those times and how different circumstances played out, whether good or bad. Did you make decisions ensuring you fulfilled your obligations and kept your word, reflecting the same behavior that you would want in return? Think about the last time you depended on someone else to fulfill an obligation or to keep a promise. Say, for instance, that person not only didn't keep their commitment, but also refused to take any responsibility at all. How many times can we say this has happened to us? Now, let's ask the question, how many times have we ourselves been the person who dropped the ball or didn't want to take accountability for our own actions? This not only breaks our trust in relationships, it also breaks the progression of productiveness with any system or operation and ultimately our surroundings and society. When we take accountability, we emerge our personal image and character, which allows grace for our shortcomings and mistakes because we're sure to have them. Maybe you participated in a group project for work or at school and you didn't do your part. Maybe this negatively affected the other people involved and ultimately their outlook on you. Friends, on the pathway to emerging, accountability is a must. So let's consciously discipline, one of my favorite words, ourselves to understand that we're responsible and we can be free to learn and grow from responsibility. Whether it be for praise or correction, admittance is a rewarding action. The last thing I'd like to leave with you today comes from my favorite book, and it reads, "So then, each of us will give an account of himself to God." Very well said. I like that. Let's take accountability for ourselves first and always. This will cause those around us to desire to have that same accountability within their own lives. So I challenge you, join me today by emerging into your best life and make the divine decision to possess accountability, knowing it will help to shape and create a path that reflects a light of excellence in our lives. You're listening to Emerge, and this has been another divine decision with Dorothea. You can make the decision to be a part of Emerge by submitting your response to our signature question. What does the word emerge mean to you? Share that with us on our IG at Emerge the Magazine. This week's response is from Jaleesa Millionaire Energy Thomas. Emerge means to rise, period. Okay, Jaleesa. She said, period, meaning that is all. And you can follow Jaleesa on IG at Jaleesa_Shardae. That's JALESA_SHARDAE. Thanks for listening to Emerge the Radio Show. Up next, Deshana and I will be speaking with a very special guest, a man whom I call brother, Mr. Devon Kelly, the founder of Not My Child, a grassroots nonprofit organization that provides violence prevention and intervention programs and services directly to underprivileged communities facing the disparities that accompany crime and violence. Their purpose is to give families a hope for the future. We at Emerge decided it was very important and wanted to deliver a show today that provides our community of listeners with the education and valuable resources that assist a lot of families who need and desire this type of help. But sometimes they just don't know where to look. So listen in as he shares his personal testimony of how he turned his situation around and emerged into greater.
Emerge yourself.
It's Emerge Wednesdays on WHOV 88.1 FM.
Welcome back. You are still tuned into the Emerge Radio Show. I am your host, Deshana Kemp Garnett, along with co-host Miss Dorothea Schuler. And right now, we are in for a treat because we have some new people right now with Not My Child. So would y'all care to introduce yourself?
I'm Devon Kelly, the founder of Not My Child. I have here with me my mother,
Sharon Spencer from Hampton, Virginia.
Apostle Sharon Spencer.
Okay, Apostle, you got to put it on there. Put it up there.
All right.
We are so glad we have you on the show. So talk to us about what is Not My Child?
So Not My Child, we are a nonprofit organization. What we do is we believe in creating a safe place and safe space for children to be in the worst neighborhoods in our community. Do annual events like trunk or treat, Easter egg hunt, book bag giveaway, turkey giveaways. And we just put together for the first time ever a skating ring where we gave away toys, bikes, and all that. So that's basically what we do. And then we got a little other parts of us that the public don't know about just as of yet because we do a lot of one-on-one stuff. But that's what we do in the public, basically, that right there.
That was a lot, that right there.
That was a lot. I'm sorry.
Yes, it was. And I was thinking they left something out. I know you guys also have the annual Stop the Violence Peace Rally for the community. And now you guys are doing it more than once a year, right?
We partner up with Ketchmore Kids. And so we do it in the beginning of the year, as soon as the year start. And he does it when schools start back. So that's how we do our book bag drive and at the end of the summer in August. And so me and him kind of been doing things back to back with each other.
Awesome.
Small world. We just talked to Troy Ketchmore.
Yeah.
Small world, right, Dorothea?
Yes, we just had Ketchmore Kids on. And so it's awesome, with everything that's taking place in the nation. And then, specifically, you guys work into a lot in Newport News. And we know there's been a lot of, negative things said about it. And it's just awesome to be able to give this opportunity for the positive changes and the work that is being done to help those situations right in Newport News. So it's a small world and a fitting time to have both of you guys on. So we're glad you're here.
Yeah, I would share how the name came about. And I always tell him, this is your story. This is your real reality, what happened to him. As a young boy, he would always go out there on the block. And I would ride out there on the block and I would tell him, the streets ain't going to have you. The graveyard ain't going to have you. And jail ain't going to have you. So I would always go out there and get him off the streets because I was determined he was going to graduate and be something. But, we would always get back and forth with each other. But I would always constantly go out there and get him. So that slogan he got was really something I said to him. The grave won't gonna have him and the prison show won't gonna have him. So when you look up, you can see the little grave sign and the handcuff. And when he showed me that, I said, wow, a words that I've been sharing with him, he brought it to alive. But I'm so proud of him, what he's doing, as a father, because he's a father too. So he's making a difference to other young men. And I believe if we bring prayer back around too, a lot of this will not be going on because he was brought up with prayer. It's a different in this day and time. We don't put God in it. So, I'm going to have to say we're going to put God in it. And I always would pray over my kids. I can thank God that I got all my children still here now. And the grave don't have them and the prison don't have them. So I bless God for that. And I'm proud of what he's doing to the community, for the community. And I just want to say to all the other young men out there, keep God in the center of y'all lives. Even the women's put God first. And that's going to make a difference.
Amen to that.
So y'all know y'all can't give a preacher on mic, right?
Hey, look, I was getting ready to call for the ushers. As my preacher said, bring the ushers
That's
down
just,
here.
I'm being quiet now. I'm being real good.
So let me give y'all. So as she was saying, right, and it's crazy that Dorothea introduced me to Mayor Philip Jones, and Mayor Philip, me and him had a little personal talk one time, and he said, "Man, you're gonna see that logo across the city of Newport News, like Gotham City. We know the kids are safe. You know, that's a conversation that we had.
I like that.
And so, because he's seen the things that we do, and Dorothea has been there too. But anyway, my mom, not only that, the words that came out of her mouth when a gentleman, we got into a little altercation, and he pulled up on me and he pulled a gun to my head and he was like about to shoot me. My mama said, "You're not gonna shoot my child, not my child." So those words are real. And then the saying that she kept on saying, "You're not going to jail, you're not going to your grave." And so that logo was really words that she said for a lifetime to me, you know. And if you see what we doing, you know, she tell you she prayed for us. I believe the oil still rubs on my head from the oil that she used to rub on my head. I think it's still there because of what, you know.
And you know something, just off the record, you ever been traumatized by something? And him telling that part, see, I left that part out because it's a trauma to me, because I had to really stand in front of a bullet and snatch the gun and tell him, "You're not going to kill my son, in the jail ain't gonna have you." So I don't even really like going back to that, because it brings trauma to me, it brings tears, because it was my, you know, we're just coming out of prayer, and I'm running out there, somebody telling me somebody got my child. So I'm just running out there grabbing the gun, not thinking. So I don't even like really facing or talking about that part, because it brings a little trauma to me, because that was real. So I tell people that's not just something he says, that's really happened.
This is an exclusive. So listen,
yeah, but it's rough.
To the Emerge show. This is exclusive. We never talked about this publicly. We never, because like my mama said, it was trauma to her, right? And people heard me tell the story all the time. So when Dorothea kept saying she wanted to interview me, I was like, it's time for people to see this and hear this. Like, a parent really need to get in their kid life and be persistent and consistent. No matter what I was doing, my mother was persistent and consistent on me not going to prison, me not going to my grave. Yeah, I got shot. Yeah, I got locked up. But her persistence and consistency turned to a brand. You understand? And we are out here making it happen. We doing the best we can, not to make it, you know, I'm bigger than nobody else, but we're just doing this thing. And as Dorothea know, we went to a meeting last night. It was a bunch of people I'd never seen in my life, but they knew the brand. They knew about the brand. They knew about what we do. And that's what it's all about. I want somebody to know that there should be a young mother. My mother was a young mother who was determined not to let her child be gone before my time. So this is why I wanted you guys to be the first people we ever came and told this story publicly. You know, and a lot of people have asked me, "Hey, I want to interview." Even last night, Dorothea, somebody wanted to interview me, go on their radio station. But here's it. You guys are the first exclusive to ever talk to me and my mom about this story. And whatever else you want to know about what we're doing, we are open book tonight to let you know.
We are special. Y'all heard it here. Emerge exclusive.
That part. And as Deshana said it, she described it so perfectly. It's a testimony to what you just said about parents being consistent and staying persistent. It's a testimony to the manifestation of you listening and taking that in. And then it's a testimony to what she was saying. I think I heard her say that she told him, "Not my child, and you either." So she was saving 2 lives. It's just, that is so profound. So when Deshana said testimony, I'm like, right, there's a few testimonies going on right now, which brought you guys to Emerge, you know, and created the nonprofit.
Right. And another part to that young man, he did go to prison for killing one of my friends. And one of my close partners connected me and this young man, Paul Taylor, connected us back together. And he had heard about what we were doing now. And he wanted, because he had changed his life, he wanted me to accept his apology. He wanted to apologize to my mom. And I told him, I can't do my work without accepting your apology, you know. And he's trying to get out on parole. And he wanted, you know, me to accept the apology for what happened between him and my friend. I have to accept it and have to go along with life. And it's going to be a learning experience for these young people that we're dealing with today. You know, this young man now, he done 20-some years in prison for murder for somebody that should be here now. So we're going to bring a real life story about this Not My Child to these young people now. We're trying to prevent you from going through what I've been.
So now that we have heard the backstory, right, we have the inspiration. We know why the name is so powerful. We know why, you know, the logo with the grave and the cuffs is so powerful. Talk to us about the business aspect of starting a nonprofit.
Well, my wife is over here in the background, so this started off as fun, right? It started off because one day I told my wife, I said, I want to give some book bags away, right? Not knowing that what we were doing was going to be what it is today, right? I started off, I said, well, baby, I want to give some book bags away. We went and priced it. And before you know it, people started donating towards us. And we went from getting 50 book bags to getting almost 500 book bags that first event we ever done, right? So it just started off of just doing something fun for the kids. And to now it's become more than just fun. It's become somewhat of a business. Now that I know where I'm at with this, you have to have a business aspect of running a nonprofit organization. I have a board. We have staff. So this is not me. I wish you could put the camera or other people. I love for them to be, because they do the work. I'm just the face. I'm just out here.
Yeah, they do the work. Here.
You know, my wife, my vice president. I think Dorothea met her before. It's a lot of. Dorothea's seen a couple of events that we've done. It doesn't just be me. It's about 7, 8 other people behind the scenes. And if you ever seen a swan swim, you never see the feet of the swan, right? These people are the feet, and they making this thing move, and we move swiftly, and you will never know what's going on because they the ones who making the thing run. Now, I have to shout them out on y'all show. New Shaq Thomas, Deidre Ivy, Johnny Woods, Dwayne Thomas, my wife Carmen Kelly, Jillian Demetrius. So it's did I forget anybody? My mama.
My child team.
So shout out to y'all out there.
And he know his mama gonna stay in the background, just low key. Go ahead and do you, baby. It's time for you to take a rest. Do you.
And Devon is totally his character. I love that analogy when you said with the swan, you never see their feet. And you are such a person that brings and includes people in, because I met you at one meeting that had nothing to do with that, even though you were still being involved in the community. I believe it was like workforce development to help people to get jobs at the shipyard. And we're talking, and you asked me to come and be a panel member on that first Stop the Violence rally that you had at House of Refuge Church. Shout out Pastor Leonard. And so
Restoration and Faith Kingdom Builders.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I got to see the team, and I got to see how the parts come together. And so I love that you gave, everyone their due diligence, because it takes a village. And honestly, that's what is going on here between your wife, your mom, her beginning that concept of the village. And, even though the story, of course, I'm sorry to hear about your friend, should have and could have turned out different, it was still that village mentality. And then you even said that Paul Taylor brought you guys together to give him that opportunity to reach back out to you and talk about how it affected his life and how he's sorry and how he wants to make a change. And he could not have done that if you weren't out here using this vehicle and doing it. So it just keeps going back to that village and, the team. So I love that, you took the time to shout out the team.
So if you are just tuning in, you are listening to the Emerge Radio Show. I'm your host, Shayna Kemp Garnett, along with Dorothea Schuler. And we have the Not My Child team here, who is truly just sharing testimonies, giving us exclusives, talking about the business of having a nonprofit, which we know you have to have an amazing team to be able to do the things you do. We know it's not easy. It's not easy when you're an entrepreneur and a business owner, and you can carry profits and do all these great things. So we know when you are a nonprofit, you have to have an amazing team behind your back. We know that. So again, shout out to the Not My Child team for everything they're doing to help better the community.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. So if people wanted to, learn more information about Not My Child, they want to know what events you have coming up, how can they get in touch with you as far as, email address, phone number, website, or social media?
Guess what? Let me introduce to y'all Miss Carmen Kelly. My wife. She connects everybody with us. She's the community liaison. She can keep people in the breast. And if you don't talk to me, you will be talking to her when it comes to Not My Child. She's the one that you will be emailing and texting and phone calls and all that.
See how she came up there and handled that?
Good evening, Emerge family. I am Carmen Kelly.
Hi, Carmen.
Hi. You all can reach us at notmychild4@gmail.com. That's our email address. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram at Not My Child.
I love it. I love it. She's like a merged family. I just love you guys. I love it. I'm like, yes, we are family. I love it.
And you know what? Check this out. I had them, when we used to go back and feed in the community, him and his wife, that's why he doing that, because I used to give back to the community book bags. We would feed them. Merges of church would come together and we would just go out there and do things. And he would be the main one out there, DJ, rallying the people together. And now I could step back and say, you know what? What your mama's kicked off and done, hey, I could sit back and say, you do it, babes. Him and my daughter. So they are doing it. And I am so proud. Out there in the market field, just out there doing the work of the Lord, giving back to the community. So I am real proud of them.
What is that Bible verse? Train up a child in the way she should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
That's right.
It's a true statement. When we young, we might not get it. Why we got to go here? Why I got to be at the church all the time? Why I got to support this? But when you get older and you see that, hey, people aren't picking up and doing the things I grew up with having done, it puts a little bit of fire under you to be like, okay, well, I guess I'm the one that has to get it done. So, kudos to you, Mom, for even.
Yes. And then I'm seeing my grandchildren doing it along with them. Really, I don't think people know. I am so proud of that because I'm seeing like 2 generations, third with me, him, and then his 2 boys. So I was saying it's just a generation of doing that, and they could be somewhere else doing something else. He could be somewhere else doing something else. So I'm just believing and declaring, decreeing that he's going to take it to the next level, and that the favor of God, the grace of God, because he the seed of Abraham, he's blessed, and God made a promise to me that he would bless my seed, and my seed is afar off. So it's going to go from generation to generation, and I'm just so godly proud, and I'm just so blessed to be here to see it.
I told y'all.
I did.
Don't get a preacher the mic.
Leave him alone. Friday night revival. We came from that school. They don't have Friday night revivals.
Don't mess with it.
Don't give the preacher the mic. Also, you can Also, another way of reaching us, but Dorothea has a personal number for me. So if you guys from Emerge call her and want to contact me, she can give you my personal number. But if you contact Not My Child, Not My Child number is 757-568-2442, 757-568-2442. That's another way of contacting us through Not My Child. And if I had to brainstorm this all the way out, throughout me creating this Not My Child logo, my mom been seeing it for 4 years and she never knew it was scripture based. And if you look at that logo, it says Matthew 11:12. For the kingdom suffered violence, and the violent took it back by force. Me being a violent individual, I believe in going into my neighborhood, taking it back by force in a peaceful manner, bringing the kids in a safe place, in a safe space to be able to interact with other kids. I appreciate y'all having me. I don't know how much longer y'all can do.
Look, we appreciate you, and I always have to do it. So when people say that social media, especially Instagram, I have my phone ready to go so I can find them. So it is very easy on Instagram. Not My Child 4. I'm putting my order in or requesting. I see a T-shirt on here with the Not My Child logo.
So hold on. Let me get you this. Deshana, Dorothea has earned that T-shirt, right? This is a brand that I believe in, right? I don't sell this, and I'm gonna give you one too. But Dorothea, I owe you, baby, for our consistent conversations. You believing in what you seeing me doing. We don't sell this paraphernalia. We want you to believe in this. We want you to understand that this is real. Nobody wants their child going to the grave or to prison. I don't want to sell this. I want to give this to you so that it reminds you that this is what we're standing for in this community. We don't want our children going to prison to their grave before their time. There's a lot of dreamers in the grave, and there's a lot of people in prison that wish they can fulfill their dreams. And we're trying to stop that from happening.
Jesus.
So
that's good.
We have T-shirt, masks, and you guys, when I give you one with gold on it or glitter on it, that means you're golden to me. Right?
I'm glitter and gold. I am golden. Yes, I am.
See, a lot of other people just get the regular printed up shirt, but if I send you a shirt with glitter or glow on it, that means you're golden to me. You're special to me. And Dorothea, I love our relationship. You're the only person that I can tell that my wife know I'm talking to you, because you be a little loud when you're on the phone, and we be on the phone for 30, 40 minutes, and it's cool, you understand, but it's always business.
I love it. Well, that's because, just look at how she came through. she is a businesswoman. She's a wife. As your mom said, she's been supporting you. And so thank you. And what we like to do is, in Deshana's voice, is get a jewel dropped on us. So up next, I would love to ask you, Devon, our signature question. And I'm sure this is going to be a jewel. And that signature question is, what does the word emerge mean to you?
Emerge means to me leaping without boundaries. That's what emerge means. You guys are the first I ever interviewed with. I leap with no boundaries, and I'm grateful to be a part of this. From this, more should happen, and I am grateful to be a part of Emerge. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for inviting my mom and my wife to be a part of this. I pray that you guys leap, and there be no boundaries from stopping you from going to wherever you're going with this Emerge show. I will continue to pray for you. Thank you.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Greg met his mother at their weekly dinner spot. She was about 15 minutes late because she took a wrong turn. They chatted through the meal, and she mentioned that she stopped playing cards with her friends. After eating, she excused herself and asked directions to the ladies' room. Greg missed 3 warning signs of Alzheimer's. Did you? Know where Alzheimer's and all dementia hide. Learn more at alz.org/10signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that. Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Come to the Hampton University Museum and Archive. Free and open to the public, travel back in time and enjoy the masterpieces from the 19th century, the Harlem Renaissance, and even contemporary movements such as Afro-Cobra. We are home to the largest public collection of African American art. You can also admire the museum's special gems like the Liberty Pen, used by Abraham Lincoln to sign the Emancipation Proclamation. Founded in 1868, we're the country's oldest African American museum. Explore our 10 galleries of fine art from Pacific Islander to African to Native American. We also welcome students and educators to find over 10 million primary documents and photographs for curriculum research. We take pride in our national treasure and hope you do too. Call 757-727-5308 or visit museum@hamptonu.edu for more information and events. Keeping you informed, we are the essence of HU 88.1 WHOV.
It's Emerge Wednesdays on WHOV 88.1 FM.
I am Deshana Kemp Garnett, and it is time for my 2 cents. So hello and happy Wednesday again. Who would have thought that the end of January would be upon us so soon? But here we are. Today, I just want to provide more financial tips for all the entrepreneurs and business owners. This tip right here, the number 1 tip, is something I feel is so important, and it's all about checking your money mindset. So I really need you to sit with yourself and think about, how do I feel about money? What's my relationship with money? You know, do I feel like if I had enough money, it would solve all my problems? Is it I never have enough money? Do you have bad experiences or stories from the past? According to Forbes.com, how you think about money and your relationship with money will determine the success of your business. So let me say that again. How you think about money and your relationship with money will determine the success of your business. So we need to have an abundance mindset. We need to have an abundance mindset, but also be responsible, have a responsible mindset. Because one thing I know from just, being amongst business owners and entrepreneurs, your upbringing sometimes is going to impact your relationship with money and how you think about money. And I mean that to say, if you grew up and you really grew up not having a lot of money, if you saw people around you that, your loved ones struggling, if before you were an entrepreneur or a small business owner, if you didn't have the best job or you struggled, it's going to be, and sometimes, not all cases, it might be very difficult for you to start having a very positive cash flow and making profits in your business because you're not used to having that type of income. You're not used to having that type of money. So we need to change the mindset of how you think about money. And when it comes to that, if you were a type of person you never really had it like that and your business is thriving and growing, and believe me, we all wish that for all the business owners and entrepreneurs we know, what's going to be very important is learning how to live within your means. To live within your means that you spend less money than what you're bringing in. And that's according to Forbes.com. So when you start making money and you start saying, hey, I can go get these things and get these things, do you really need those things? Be a responsible business owner. Start saving. Start building that emergency fund. Start taking care of the things that you should take care of as a responsible business owner. Make sure you have that money set aside. Make sure, you paid all of your debts. Don't go out here getting more debt because debt will erode your net worth. Make sure you have things in place for your business. Make sure you have key person insurance. Make sure you have insurance on your facilities. Make sure you have insurance in general. So our financial tip is let's check our money mindset. Let's look at our relationship with money and let's figure out ways to have a positive relationship with money. I am Deshana Kemp Garnett, and that is my 2 cents.
Here's what's coming up in Hampton Roads.
Let's take a look at some regional and local activities. Friday, February 3rd at 11 o'clock a.m., a social media masterclass, which will be at Gather 757 in Newport News, Virginia. Business Brunch and Expo Series 2023, Saturday, February 4th, 11 o'clock a.m. This will be at the Norfolk Public Library. Align Small Business Series. This will be Monday, February 6th at 9 o'clock a.m. at the Norfolk State University Innovation Center, Norfolk, Virginia. Small Business Pre-Certification and How to Do Business with Newport News, Tuesday, February 14th at 9 o'clock a.m. This will be at Brooks Crossing in Newport News, Virginia. For information about any of these events, visit eventbrite.com. A special thank you for the guests on today's show. To listen to past shows, visit emergethemagazine.com.
Emerge yourself.
You've been listening to the Emerge Radio Show. All opinions expressed on this show are that of our guests and may or may not be shared by the Emerge Radio Show staff. Follow us on Facebook. Search Emerge Radio Show. On Instagram, Emerge the Magazine, and online, emergethemagazine.com.